when you're an athlete, most of the time you do the same thing every single day for your whole entire life, like from your 10 to 25 or 30 or whatever. So it's difficult to switch that off and figure something else out, right? So I encourage people, nowadays you can do things while you're playing. Like you don't necessarily have to wait. So guys are starting podcasts while they're still playing. You see Draymond Green. Or guys are starting media companies while they're still playing. LeBron James. That's on the highest level, but you can do it on a lower level as well, right? So I think for all athletes, you have to start planning your second life while you're still in your first one. Because that's what a lot of people don't, they'll go overseas. And, and it's like a lot of times when they're done playing, financially, they're not making any money at all. So that's crazy because now you got to kind of figure that play out because you still got all the other expenses that's coming in, but you don't have any. But then from a psychological standpoint, it's tough too because it's like you've been used to doing the same thing every single day, and then it just stops.
Yeah.
So if you don't have anything else that you've already planted seeds in, you can kind of go through a rough period of trying to figure out what you want to do with your life, what your passion is, right? And now, if you're 30 years old, you got a wife, you got kids, it's a lot more harder to just try to figure that out. Like you got to kind of know what you got going on. So that's a problem that we see with athletes. It is starting to change, but I definitely encourage all athletes to find a passion, find a skill set, learn about investing, learn about business while you're still at your prime. Don't wait till it's over to try to start at the beginning and try to figure it out.
Yeah, I think that is the biggest thing, right? More athletes today are looking at themselves as a brand, whereas prior it was like, all right, we'll figure out the business deal. Somebody will do that for me. And people are really taking account for their career. So they're educating themselves, which only helps their career in a longevity standpoint, right? Because now you have things that are put in position that, a freak injury can happen. And now it's like, what do I do? You know what I mean? And so we've seen that a lot. Like you said, when we're talking about the athlete overall, when you have to rely on somebody else for the long-term benefits of what you're trying to do, we've seen people being taken advantage of. So not only just getting the information, but actually sharing the information, because that's something that, in the locker rooms, what are we talking about really, right? And when we get into these boardrooms, what are we talking about? So it's like, all right, get the information, share it. Now let's see what we can do as a community, as a not only just a community, but inside the locker room and outside the locker room as well.
Yeah.